Everyone says Light was the most dangerous character in Death Note. And I get it. Light Yagami had a notebook that could kill anyone in the world. Just a name, a face. 40 seconds. That's insane power. But honestly, I think L Lawliet was way more dangerous. And the scary part is, he didn't need supernatural power to be that way. Let's break it down, slowly. Light became powerful because he found something. L was powerful because of who he already was. That's a huge difference. If you remove the Death Note from Light, he's just a very intelligent student. If you remove everything from L, no task force, no computers, no resources, he's still L. He still thinks the same way. He still analyzes the same way. He still manipulates situations the same way. That kind of power doesn't disappear, and here's something people overlook. Light needed to be seen. He wanted the world to know Kira existed. He wanted criminals to fear him. He wanted people to worship him. That ego was always there. But L didn't care about being known. He stayed anonymous. He didn't show his face. He didn't chase recognition. When someone doesn't need validation, you can't control them emotionally. That makes them unpredictable. And unpredictable is dangerous. Think about the fake L broadcast. That moment changed everything. L sacrifices a death row inmate just to test a theory. He doesn't hesitate. He doesn't hesitate because to him, that life was a variable, a data point. That's cold, but it worked. In one move, he narrowed Kira down to Japan. Light reacted instantly and killed him, but that reaction exposed him. L forced that mistake. That's strategic dominance. Now compare their motivations. Light believed he was justice. He genuinely thought he was saving the world. That belief gave him confidence, but it also blinded him. Because once you believe you're morally right, you stop questioning yourself. L never believed he was justice. He wasn't trying to save the world. He was trying to solve a case. Truth was his goal, not morality. That's terrifying, because someone chasing justice has emotional limits. Someone chasing truth? They'll cross lines if it leads to answers. Look at how far L went. He wiretapped homes. He put cameras inside private spaces. He treated suspects like chess pieces. And he even handcuffed himself to Light. That wasn't normal detective behavior. That was obsession. But it was calculated obsession. He trusted his intuition enough to physically bind himself to the prime suspect. That level of commitment, that's dangerous. Now here's where it gets deeper. Light's biggest weakness was ego. L's biggest strength was doubt. Light always believed he was smarter than everyone. L constantly questioned himself. That difference changes everything. When you doubt your conclusions, you double-check. You test. You reevaluate. When you're certain, you stop looking for flaws. That's why Light started making emotional moves. And L kept applying pressure. Not with violence, not with power, but with presence. Let's be honest, Light felt threatened by L in a way he never felt about Nier. Because L understood him. You can see it in their conversations. Every time they sit across from each other, it feels like both of them know something the other doesn't. But L wasn't intimidated. He was curious. And curiosity without ego is hard to defeat. Now imagine something for a second. What if L found the Death Note first? Would he become a god? Probably not. He'd experiment. He'd test the rules, push boundaries, try edge cases. He'd figure out every mechanic of the notebook. and once he fully understood it, he'd decide what to do. That version of L might actually be unstoppable, because he wouldn't be driven by superiority. He'd be driven by analysis, and analysis scales. Here's another thing. When L died, Light celebrated. But think about what happened after. Light got comfortable, more confident, more theatrical, more exposed. L was the pressure keeping him sharp. Without L, Light didn't need to prove himself as much. And that made him sloppy. It's ironic. The person Light hated the most was the only reason he stayed disciplined. Even after death, L influenced everything. His suspicions, his investigation, his groundwork. All of that helped Nier later, which means technically, L still defeated Light. He planted seeds that continued growing. That's long-term thinking. That's legacy-level danger. Light ruled through fear. Fear works fast, but fear fades. People adapt to fear. L ruled through intelligence. Intelligence doesn't fade. It evolves. If someone like L existed in real life, with no moral limits, he wouldn't need a death note. He could expose governments, destroy reputations, collapse systems, not by killing, but by revealing. And exposure can be more destructive than death. Here's the final thought. Light wanted control over life and death. L wanted control over information. And information is more powerful than violence, because information shapes reality. Light could end lives. L could change the narrative. And in the real world, changing the narrative is far more dangerous. So yeah, Light had supernatural power, but L had something scarier, a mind that never stopped analyzing, a personality that didn't crave praise, and a willingness to cross lines if it meant getting closer to the truth. That kind of person doesn't need magic. They are the weapon,